Hi, my wonderful students. Now let's look at the problem on the board. Now you have to find the square root of 12 plus 2 square root of 35. So how do we do this? Now the first thing is to make an assumption by saying let the square root of this number be square root of x plus square root of y. Right, so if this is the square root of this, then we can write that 12 plus 2 square root of 35 equals to square root of x plus square root of y raised to the power of 2. Okay, so because if I say square root of 9 equals to 3, now the meaning is that I can write y equals to 3 raised to the power of 2. Okay, so now the next thing is to expand this. So how do we expand this? Now square root of x plus square root of y times square root of x plus square root of y. Now you pick this and use it to multiply what we have in the bracket here. The same thing with square root of y. So we have square root of x times square root of x plus square root of y plus square root of y square root of x plus square root of y. So square root of x times square root of x, that is going to give you x. Square root of y, square root of x times square root of y, that is square root of xy, plus square root of y times square root of x, that is square root of xy, square root of y times square root of y, that is y. Right, so we can write this as x plus y plus this and this are the same thing, so we have 2 of x square root of xy. All right, so now let's come here. So that means this is 12 plus 2 square root of 35 plus y plus 2 square root of xy. Okay, so now when you compare this and this, you observe now that 12 is similar to x plus y, while 35 is similar to xy. Right? X plus y is equals to 12, so we call that equation 1. Right? This is similar to this, it's equivalent to x plus y. So and the 35 is also equivalent to xy. All right, so we have xy equals to 35. So that is equation 2. So now the next thing is to solve this equation simultaneously. So from equation 2, so let's make x to be the solid of the formula. We have x equals to 35 over y. All right, so let's call this equation 3. So you substitute this into equation 1. So equation 1 now turns to 35 over y plus y equals to 12. Now the next thing is to multiply through by the LCM of the denominator, which is y. Right, so you multiply this by y. When you multiply this by y, so you have 35, because y will cancel y, so you multiply this by y, you have y squared equals to, multiply this by y, you have 12y. All right, so now let's rearrange this equation. So we have y squared, so let's bring this one here. You have minus 12y plus 35 equals to 0. All right, now let's solve this quadratic equation. So now the sum is minus 12, the product is 35. Okay, so we look for two numbers such that when we multiply together we are going to have 35. When you add together we are going to have minus 12. The two numbers are minus 5 and minus 7, because minus 7 times minus 5, that is 35, and minus 7 plus minus 5, that gives you minus 12. So this equation turns to y squared minus 7y minus 5y plus 35 equals to 0. Alright? So now we look at the first two pair. So look for the common factor. The common factor here is y. So we have y because y will go in y squared. So when you divide y squared by y, you have y. Divide minus 7y by y, you have minus 7. Alright, the same thing here. Minus 5 is common to these two terms. So you have minus 5. So when you divide this by minus 5, you have y. Divide this by minus 5, you have minus 7 equals to 0. Okay, so now you look for the common factor here. The common factor here is y minus 7. You can see y minus 7 is common to these two terms. So you are left with y and minus 5. So you have y minus 5 equals to 0. So it's either y minus 7 equals to 0 or y minus 5 equals to 0. So y equals to 7 or y equals to 5. Alright, from equation 3, we have x to be equals to 35 over y. Alright, so now when y is 7, so x will be 35 over 7, and that gives us 5. So when y is 5, so x will be what? 35 over 5, and that gives us 7. Alright, so the two pairs are 7, 5 and 5, 7. Now, the square root of this number is square root of x plus square root of y. Alright, so now we have square root of 7 plus square root of 5. So this is going to be the square root of this number. Alright, so for this second pair now, we also have square root of 5 plus square root of 7. Okay, thank you for watching.